Yesterday, we asked the question, who was Bitcoin? Today, we're going to figure out why a lot of major institutions don't care. Yes, you heard me right. They don't care. They simply want to hold it for their retirement funds or even their clients. All next on OG Crypto and NFTs. Welcome everyone. My name is Troy, and every day we go over the latest news in real estate. Real estate. We go over blockchain technology. God, my mind is all over the place. Blockchain technology. We also go over cryptocurrencies as well as non-fungible tokens, NFTs. But today, this is all about Bitcoin. We're going to hear a bunch of different articles. Let's jump right into it. Democratic presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. This article is very interesting. The candidate isn't necessarily biased just because he owns Bitcoin. Well, you kind of are biased, but we're happy you're biased if you're in the crypto industry. You understand that the technology in the future will make sense, and we like it. But the big Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Bitcoin is a Nothingburger. Again, I think that a lot of people on the outside, including some of the blue team that is way against crypto, is really now driving some media against Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Elizabeth Warren is probably one of the big ones that is really kind of hitting her own, party here. But I think that he is going to become big enough to actually be a contender to our current president. All right, next, the FOMO continues to happen, and it brings up my radar. We heard last week that Bitcoin was going to go to 120, and then somebody else predicts 120, then another person predicts 120, and now today Robert Kiyosaki came out and said, "Oh, Bitcoin's going to hit 120." Guys, the only way we're driving it there is if the Fed pivots and then goes to quantitative easing. That's the only way. In this high environment, it's too volatile and too risky. With all the positive news in the last 2 weeks that Bitcoin's received, what did it do for price action? Spiked over to 31. It went from 28, 29, spiked over to 31. Now it's at 30,500. There's no price action here. Why? Because some people don't believe it. They believe this is all manipulation to get the retail to FOMO in, and they're just not doing it. So let's go see the next one. Again, another article today is BlackRock Bitcoin ETF could unlock 30 trillion worth of wealth. Why we keep hearing the same thing? They made a decision 2 weeks ago about this, and we just keep seeing article after article push Bitcoin down our throats. My question yesterday was, who owned it? Why would BlackRock put trillions of dollars into an asset where they didn't know who actually was a developer, owner? And at any time, we could find out it's 3 or 4 guys that are now going to jail or could be terrorists or whatever. Why are we absolutely doing this? We need to come out. Does the NSA own it? That's going to be pretty earth-shaking if they do. And if they have so much Bitcoin, they can dump it in 2 seconds, just like Mt. Gox can dump it, just like the CCP can dump it. Guys, it is so volatile. Everyone's like, oh, it's coming off exchanges. Oh, it's only, a certain supply. Guys, get this through your mind. That's just for manipulation purposes. If there were 100 billion, these people wouldn't be talking about it, and you wouldn't be talking about 120,000 Bitcoin or $250,000 Bitcoin. You wouldn't. But because the supply is so low, and they give you all these things like, oh, look at there's 70% of the supply is locked away. Who knows where that is at? Is it sitting in U.S. government wallets waiting to go dump on a Coinbase and then get sold off like they've already done several times this year? We have 160,000 Bitcoin sitting on Mt. Gox. Who, my God, let's get it going, man. You got the insurance claim. Now you've already went through the people and what they're going to do with their Bitcoin, and we're still sitting here waiting for what's going on. So there's a lot that's what's happening here, but you just keep seeing the same recycled stories over and over. All right, let's go jump into this. Bitcoin soars after reaching CBOE surveillance sharing agreement for 5 Bitcoin ETF applications. Well, Coinbase jumped, and I It doesn't make any sense to me. You're telling me that Brian Armstrong, the head of their legal department, their CAO, all dumped stock last Friday, yet to 24 or let's say 3 days later, 4 days later, they announced this and their stock shares just climbed 16% to $91. This makes sense. Doesn't make any sense. I don't know if they did this for a reason. Is there somebody was going to long the stock when they should be shorting it and made a lot of money off this? All I know is it doesn't make any sense to me why they would announce it when all these people knew that this was happening absolutely last week. But what is a surveillance sharing agreement? It looks like to me it is a auditing firm that actually oversees what actually is happening. So it stops manipulation on the market. They can't dump it at one point. They can't, they have to be able to audit their records. And that's something that we can't get out of Tether, the largest purchaser of Bitcoin right now. So let's go see what it says here. Amendments were filed. So these were all filed ETFs with the SEC. Amendments were filed to all 5 COB ETF applications, including Wise Origin, Wisdom Tree, Van Eck, Invesco Galaxy, and ARK. Kathy Wood's company. They all are using this company. This is another step that's a little closer to getting ETF approved. I know that anything that's going to happen, any ETFs that's going to happen, the first date is going to be the very end of December. That is the last day of the very first ETF that the SEC has to come out and approve. The other dates for all these are all next year in 2024. So don't get too excited about it. The recycled articles aren't that exciting anymore. News is behind us and we're still at 30,500. Guys, thank you very much for joining me today. Yes, it was a Bitcoin day. I know you're kind of surprised, but this is my opinion on Bitcoin. And you've heard it for the last couple of days. This is how I feel. You take care, guys, and we'll see you tomorrow.